The Monaco GP is gone and we have the winners and the losers. But first, congratulations to Kimi Antonelli. What a young boy he is. What a race he had today. 5 wins in a row. And did a beautiful race. The head was straight. 2 starts. Started up beautifully and he was great all through today. I can tell you, it was one of the biggest races of his life. And no capping. He delivered. Kimi delivered. 2 years ago, I said, Kimi is not coming to joke. This is somebody that had a double promotion, not once, twice, in F1. He just needed 1 year to adjust. And the second year, he started proving himself against a veteran in F1. Not just a veteran. George Russell is about 8 years in F1, and George Russell cannot keep his head together. A teenager that has nothing to lose is intimidating him, and this has gotten into George Russell's head, and this is really worrying him, and it's worrisome because the point in which George Russell is now, a lot of mistakes have been made, and he will keep making mistakes. I don't know how he do it. I don't know. But congratulations to Kimi Antonelli once again. Great, massive race. I can't say it enough. It was a massive race for him, and no doubt, no cap, great one. So how did the race pan out? Bortoleto started from the pit lane. He had an accident yesterday because of a lot of adjustment he made to his car, so he started from the pit lane. After the formation lap, Max Verstappen had a start issue. He had to get back to the pit because the car was not moving, and we'll talk about the Red Bull powertrain in another video because I think it's one of the strongest powertrains, but I think there's a reliability issue. He had an issue, his teammate had similar issue, but he was unable to run through the race. So I think Red Bull needs to get something right with their powertrain, and that will just, if they're able to get it right, that will set them back into the race. But now Red Bull, good engine, bad aerodynamics, courtesy, not being able to hold on to Andre Newey. Story for another day. And to McLaren's, this season really shows the mess McLaren created last season that was not really shown due to them having a very fast car. 2 fast drivers were dominant. This season, if not strategy, it is the car or the engine. If not strategy, something will happen. Lando Norris, great qualifying, but was unable to pull it through the race. He had to retire the car. Oscar Piastri had a good one, but still he struggled. Oscar Piastri struggled, though we know Monaco is a place in which you find very difficult to overtake. But at the end of the day, McLaren, the past few races have been poor for them, and it is showing in their results. 0 point for Max Verstappen today, 0 point for Lando Norris, 0 point for George Russell, 0 point for Charles Leclerc. To George Russell, I've said it earlier, this season is going to break him. It's going to really break him, and I think if he doesn't get it together, he might need to take a year off. Charles Leclerc, always good with Ferrari, but now it's showing that all he knows is not good enough for Ferrari. Don't fight me, don't. Why am I saying that? If all he knows was good enough, then Ferrari would have at least done a lot today in the last race also. Am I saying this? Ferrari, I think they've started listening to Lewis Hamilton, and we can see that there's a progress in Ferrari. The results are there to show. Charles Leclerc himself said that he might need to move towards Lewis Hamilton's setup direction from next race to see maybe it will work for him. Though he said, there will be some issues with it, but he will try. See, the story is not that there will be some issues with it. Learn it, be creative, be dynamic, try. Let's see how it works out for you. It's his home race, and for him to lose that race, crash out, was not enough. He complained about engine braking, he complained about the car stopping. He's not the only one that have that issues. Lewis Hamilton has it, but it works for Lewis Hamilton in his driving style. That is why, like I said, the car is not perfect for almost all the top drivers there. But for Lewis Hamilton, late braking, being able to push the car to the edge, at least to a point, he's able to do that, which Charles Leclerc is not able to do because he has a different style of braking, different style of movement in the car. So, but when he was to talk about his crash, I think he said it's the braking issue, but we all saw it. It's not the braking issue. It is the damage on the track and the rubbers, the debris was able to collect on his tire, and the tire just slipped off. That was why he locked at the rear, because the front tire became a passenger on its own. It could not turn. It was turning, it could not turn. It was just sliding. The same thing that happened to Lance Stroll, and Lance Stroll has become a customer in Monaco, a customer of overtaking and a customer of crashing. Something which shall happen, Lance Stroll will crash, and that was the same way Lance Stroll was able to crash his car, and Lance Stroll too was saying, no, it's the car issue. No, it's not the car issue. It is your own issue. Not every driver saw it because they have different lines they are taking. Someone like Lewis Hamilton said he didn't see that, the debris, because he has a different line he's taking to maximize performance. The story behind Charles Leclerc angry that why did they pit him? If they didn't pit him at that point in time, they had tires. If he's taking that line, their tires would have easily crashed him. There will be no rubber on the tire, and he would just run into the wall. The line he was taking was similar to Lance Stroll's line, and at the end of the day, he ran it into the wall. Not a good day for him in the office, but the funny thing is we saw clarity today in the way Aston Martin performs, and I think the learnings Aston Martin has today would push them through. Cadillac, they had to retire the car, burning issues for Bottas. Perez was able to finish the race. I think Perez is still the fastest Cadillac driver. Bottas needs to buckle up so that he won't lose his seat. The penalties today will be more than 4 World Cup penalties. Penalties the FIA dished today, especially on the pit limiter. Colapinto, Gasly, Lewis Hamilton. And looking at the replay, you'll be seeing that these guys reduce the speed. They were on the pit limit. George Russell, Aja. But at the end, the FIA says the penalty. The Monaco race is one of the most interesting ones because the adrenaline was there. There were close races. Very close races. Norris, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Lawson, and the likes. Going into Barcelona to Austria to Silverstone to Belgium. Not a good race for Oliver Biermann at all. Not a good one for him. And I think he will get back. Carlos Sainz came in points, but Carlos Sainz had a bad start. He had the squabble with Hulkenberg and Colapinto, but was able to come back out, get some decent points, and the backing really helped him, especially from his teammate Albon. They were able to get decent points. And one thing about Monaco is if you are able to work with your team, if you guys are behind, you can get some decent points, and both drivers got some decent points. Great racing for Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson is a legend, I'm telling you. He drove brilliantly today, as in he was brilliant. And Lindblad for the two sister team coming up with points. Great one for them. Great one. I can't credit them enough. They did a great job. To Gasly, what a race he had to pick a maximum point for his team. Gasly is proving that he's a top team material. Now, if you look at the cars, Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren in number 2, Ferrari in 4, getting more points than both Red Bull and McLaren, which shows the discipline and where Ferrari is, especially with the 7-time world champion. I think Ferrari can do more because the championship is there to waste. Now, who are the winners? Kimi Antonelli, clearly the winner. Fastest lap, greatest drive, greatest win of his career, winning Monaco, and the driver of the day. He is worth it. He is worth every penny of it. Anytime he's ahead, he creates a social distance. Lewis Hamilton, even in second, at the point, could not even compete with him. It was just like, if there was no yellow flags, he could have ended the race about 40 good seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Forget about it. That's where he would have ended the race. So it shows great deal of composure and understanding from the boys. So he's clearly the winner. Lewis Hamilton coming second is clearly a winner, driving Ferrari in the right place. Fred Vasseur had to visit hospital. He came back, but was not really frequent in the garage, but fine. With that, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Santi is race engineer. They are winners. They did a great job. Canada to Monaco, great race for them. Losers, Lando Norris. I think where they are now, it will be difficult for them to challenge. Very, very difficult. A long season it will be for McLaren, especially for Lando Norris. George Russell, a loser. The mistakes, the effort keeps pushing him down, putting him down, and I think he has a long way to go. Clearly a loser today. Liam Lawson, clearly a winner. Great racing for him. Isaac Aja, after his accident during the free practice, he came up strong today. Great race. Hey, forget about it. It's a great race for him. He did a perfect race today. Coming up third. Gasly, clearly a winner today. Beautiful racing for him. Williams as a team, clearly a winner today. They were able to overcome the early shenanigans. Came up strong. For Alonso and Perez, clearly a winner. Pushing those two tractors to near points, clearly a winner. They did a good race, and I think for Cadillac, there's still a lot for them to learn. This is not their year. This is their learning year. They have a lot to learn. For Aston Martin, they have a whole long way to go. They are really putting a lot of effort, but it's not showing. But clearly, this Monaco Grand Prix is the one for the ages. Going into Barcelona is going to be a different race. And clearly, during the race, one of the things I noticed is the rear wings of the Mercedes really worked. That extra winglets really worked. For Red Bull, it really worked. The extra winglets really worked, because that is why it was difficult for the McLaren to push even when Isaac Aja had no power. Isaac Aja was a clear winner. He had no power. He lost power in so many parts of the race, but he was consistent. That rear wings really worked for him, and that's the benefit of the upgrade they brought, which saved them, because there was no way at the point I believe Norris could have overtaken him. Clearly, the rear wing worked, and on McLaren to the rear wing worked. So it's a battle of rear wings, of development, and more battles of development to be coming soon. position in the 2026 F1 challenge. And to Max Verstappen, I'm so sorry for him. He could not start the race, but there are clear indications that they are going in the right direction, but there are own issues for now around their engine and their power unit, in which they need to solve. They need to look at it. But it's going to be a great season, as you are seeing. 2027, I believe, will be better, especially when we move up in the ICE ratio to energy ratio. Getting into Barcelona, you don't want to miss Barcelona Grand Prix. It's race week. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.